Welcome to Back of the Room. My guest today is a very funny stand-up comedian, co-host of a podcast with Libby Higgins called Slop City, and in April is going on tour with Trailer Trash Tammy. It's Tina Dybal.
Yay!
What's up?
Do you have an applause sound effect that will go there?
There's definitely one on this episode.
Okay, good. Do you not generally have an applause sound effect that goes there?
It
or do
depends on the person, if I like them or not, all that kind of stuff, but you're getting one.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want one.
Yeah. I had one episode where there was like 50 sound effects, and I've had some that don't have any, so
For sure.
you never know.
No, it just matters like what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Libby and I, which you mentioned, the podcast that I do, which is Slop City, Libby and I have a soundboard called Jingle Palette Reloaded that Randy Cash, our producer, Funny Bone favorite, Back of the Room. Has he ever been on Back of the Room?
I should have him on. He seems like a busy man these days.
Dude, you got to have him on.
Yeah. Get Randy on. Randy, you're invited.
Randy, here. You're invited, brother. Shout out to Randy.
Yeah.
I watched like a little bit of Charlie Winfrey's episode to like get a vibe of
Did you see the million shout outs?
Yes.
I had to cut so many times on that because he
my-
was shout out everything.
Just
it was pretty
shouting
good.
it out.
Yeah. You got to shout people out sometimes.
But yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm really excited that I'm going to have an applause break. That's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Just like right when you say like, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
You're a comedian. We're comedians.
I'll add one right there too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Two applause
Thank you
breaks.
so much. Oh my God. I'm so
yeah.
pumped.
Saw you at the Golden Hoosier the other day. We did a show there.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yes.
It's a good venue, and it was weird that nobody sat to the right, kind of, but still good.
Yes. Oh yeah. Stage right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was technically sold out, but everybody sat weird.
Yes. Okay. So I'm actually now realizing that you do this podcast after you do a show with someone, or is it
Not always.
So it can just be any comedian.
Yeah, sometimes I'll catch somebody, headlining here, or just somebody sitting at the bar or whatever. So
Cool. Hell yeah.
yeah, but
It's
worked out.
perfect.
Yeah, it worked out. Saw you and planned it out, and now you're here. So I
Now-
appreciate you being here.
No, this is great. Yes. So, okay, we did a show at the Golden Hoosier, which for the St. Louis buffs out there used to be Southtown Pub, which is a place that we also did shows at a lot
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's where me and Molly met, actually.
At Southtown? Mm-hmm. No way.
Yeah.
Oh my, dude, you gotta give me a little juice on that. Give me a little gas, brother. Give me some of the deets on that.
It was
and then
kind
we'll
of-
get into the show.
All right. Well, it was kind of a weird night. It was like in that side kind of room
Yep.
that is not great for comedy.
Terrible for comedy.
It's like kind of really skinny, and there was like 4 people sitting there. So it didn't go great or whatever. Molly was on it, and I was headlining technically, doing probably 20 minutes or something. But
Sick.
yeah, we started talking a little bit, and there was karaoke going on, and she like begrudgingly pulled me on stage for some of that.
Because she was vibing. Did you know, like, while you guys were chatting, were
I
you
don't
like,
know.
we are vibing? Like, this is awesome.
I was
What were
hoping
your
so.
first thoughts? Like,
I
were
thought
you like,
she was cool and, pretty, and I was just like talking to her and just kind of gauging how it was going. So there was also this crazy chick that was like coming after me. Like, I'm not saying I got a bunch of gals running after me all the time, but this one was like talking to Molly and saying like, "Oh, I'm going home with him," and she was like,
and you were like, hold on, dude.
I
You
was
think
like,
you're taking home Jimmy? Absolutely not. I'm taking home Jimothy.
so
know.
that was a weird element. And then
James.
I kind of dodged her and then asked out Molly at the end of the night while she was eating chicken wings.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah.
How long ago was that exactly? Because I'm trying to get a gauge for how long you and I have officially known each other.
That was 6 years ago.
When you met Molly?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I've been doing comedy 10 years now.
Me too. Isn't that
Okay.
fucking crazy?
It is wild.
It's almost like embarrassing.
I know. I had Spencer on here, and I was like, dude, didn't you think we'd be further along by now?
Yes.
He's just like, yeah, what are you going to do?
I know. And Libby and I have we roast ourselves for that shit constantly on the podcast to the point that it's probably been a detriment at some point because we are so fucked in the head. I don't know if I can curse on here, but
You can say whatever you want.
well, I didn't know if you personally have any.
No, fuck, shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, good.
But Libby and I both struggle with our mental health. And it's I'm not even just trying to keep bringing up Libby. But it's that's just the one where that's the podcast where I'm I openly talk about that shit,
Yeah.
you know, where I'm dude, we're fucked, you know? But recently, we've been talking about that. When people ask us how long we've been doing comedy, we want to answer and just be 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, how long was that? 6 years?
A
I
while.
said 6,
Yeah.
4 years. I've been doing it for 4 years.
Feels like, no time, but yeah,
I
know what
know.
you mean. No. So, yeah, I know. It is weird. It's just 10 years is a long time.
A decade,
Yeah.
bro. We have been doing stand-up comedy for a decade.
But you guys do seem like you're crushing it. You got the podcast, going on the tour.
Yes.
So did you meet Libby through improv?
So, okay,
Or-
here's my quick synopsis of everything. So, I did my very first open mic ever here at the Funny Bone Westport.
Me too.
You did? Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of badass in a way. It's an OG staple,
Yeah.
you know? And you could smoke in here then.
I know. Yeah.
Which is, Libby and I were talking about this because we had Sean O'Brien on our Slop City this past weekend for the first time ever, and he was a blast.
He's awesome.
Has he done
Right
this
there.
pod?
He has, yeah.
Okay, good. I love that. Yeah. He said that he did. But either way, we were just talking about how thank God you could fucking smoke in there then, because there is no way I would have started stand up if I wasn't able to smoke in the bullpen, as they call it.
It was probably cool. I never really got into smoking much or anything, but it was the vibe made sense.
Absolutely.
I remember.
You felt it. Oh, you felt that on the inside,
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean?
It was just you were performing
knew.
through the smoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you felt the anxiety that I was feeling while I was chiefing fucking SIDS,
Yeah.
being okay, cool. Yeah, I got that. You know,
Yeah. I remember the night that it went into effect or maybe it was next Monday is when we're officially shutting it down.
yeah.
And Ben Johnson walked in with 4 cigarettes in his mouth. He's I got to get it in.
I love it. I wish they did a countdown here, you know,
Yeah.
on stage. It's 3, 2, 1.
Everybody
and they
just puts them
pull
out
a
on the-
lever,
yeah.
use big scissors to cut a ribbon, and they're a new era.
Yeah.
But it's no, we still have the same. Don't they still have the Mardi Gras sparkles on the stage, or did they finally take them off?
They usually are up for a long time. I think they are still up, but they'll come down in probably July.
Okay, and they get a
You
nice
just never
dusting.
know.
They just
Yeah, they
power
just-
wash them.
Yeah, everything stays up, quite a while.
Sean runs them through the dishwasher
Yeah.
back behind the
Sticks
bar.
it in a drawer for next year probably, but
Yeah.
it's
I
good
lo-
good
I-
vibe.
Oh, for sure. I love that Sean bartends at the Funny Bone because I bartended at the Improv Shop, one of our places that we came up at for a long time. But yeah, it's great. Either way, let me get back to the, wraparound of how I kind of started in comedy. So I'm pretty sure that it was July or August of 2014 that I did my very first open mic. And if I really wanted to dig, I could find it because I think I tweeted something so fucking stupid afterwards. But then I got pissed off at Twitter and all that. And I was I'm deleting it. And then I deleted it and then I kind of restarted it. And then I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm doing there. Here's the deal. I'm not a Twitter comic, so I don't really give a fuck. But I know I have a screenshot of that date
Nice.
somewhere. So it was Funny Bone. That was my first open mic. And then I think I did a few open mics. I didn't really dive balls deep into it. But somehow I got hooked up with this magician.
Okay.
I got hooked up with this magician in like September of 2014. And I remember this deeply because number one, you don't ever forget a fucking show with a magician. Number two, you don't ever forget a magician.
Yeah.
You know, just in general. It was like I worked at Joey B's on the Landing, which is
Okay.
downtown St. Louis. Like, used to be a fucking party bar before all these like cuckold ballpark village fuckstick boring ass places opened up around the stadiums. You know they fucking suck. They're so void
Yeah.
of personality.
Yeah. I never really got into the Landing. I think I missed the
Sure.
window, but that was the place for
Oh,
probably before. I don't know. Before
No,
we
it-
were going to bars, probably.
Exactly. It totally was. And it's like, I definitely came in at like the very last end of it, like the last era. Because it's like, I was there for a few years and then I was gone. But either way, I worked at Joey B's on the Landing when I started stand up in like late 2014 or some shit like that. And that, you know, kind of dabbling, like I said, met the magician. Magician somehow. He's excited I'm starting comedy. And this is like, he's starting being a magician, you know? So he got his other buddy that's like a fucking gooder magician than he was on the show. And then they got me to do stand-up comedy. And I have a video of this somewhere, but I did 15 minutes of comedy when I first started.
Opening or middle?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it was,
I don't know where the magic goes. Could have been magic, comedy, magic, too.
It was. It was
Okay.
like magic, comedy, magic,
Okay.
stuff like that. You know, and it's like I was so new. I had no fucking business doing a show. But either way, I did it. And it's like, you know, I would say probably, excuse me. I bet if I watch the video, I'll be like, you know, there were some fine premises and it's like some really nervous ticks and stuff. Because I remember I used to like slap the mic cord like down. I probably, like I said, have footage of this somewhere.
Indiana Jones style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. But either way, that was like late 2014. And I remember at end of 2014, because I was in a transition period. I was working at Joy B's on the Landing. I was doing some college. And I was honestly really thinking about taking all my credits, transferring them to SLU, taking the MCATs, and I wanted to go to medical school. I was like, I'll be a fucking doctor. I don't know. Why not? And like, I went and met with an advisor at SLU during this kind of time where I'm dabbling in all this. I'm feeling unsure. I'm making a fuck ton of money bartending. I'm 22 or 21. I'm young, dumb, full of cum. Like, I'm hot, you know? I had a boyfriend, but he was a fucking loser at the time. But you know, it's like either way, it was like
Got a lot going on, yeah.
I had a lot going on.
Yeah.
I had a lot going for me. But you know, I was super busy and working my ass off. I like had a house, had a dog, whatever, all this bullshit. And so I met with an advisor at SLU, and it was so funny. And I bet like I know what I look like and what I dress like and what I sound like and stuff like that. It's like I do this like thing where when I meet up, like when I go to therapy, I look worse than I could ever look in the entire world. I look like straight up fucking dog shit when I go in there. And like usually when I do anything important, for some reason I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna look like shit for this. Like I like wear no bra, smell like cigarettes. I'm like vaping or doing whatever on the way in. And like, so I remember sitting down and talking to this woman, and I had great grades, whatever. And I was just kind of like, you know, I really don't know what I want to do, but here's kind of what I'm thinking. So I gave her the lowdown, and I was like, I'm thinking I want to take these grades. I want to transfer them here, take the MCATs, go to medical school, maybe become an immunologist, study HIV, something cool. Who knows? And the lady was very much like, yeah. Do you understand how long of a commitment that is? And I mean, she really did kind of like poo-poo my idea while I was in there. Like she talked me the fuck out of it. And it was odd, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a way, like you had a lot of stuff going on, and I'm not saying you couldn't have done it. You definitely could have been a doctor.
Yeah.
But if you went to get a procedure done and your doctor's like, yeah, I kind of dabble at being a doctor.
Yeah.
That's not really what you want to hear.
Exactly.
So maybe she had some maybe not too. I mean, you could still be a doctor, but
Here's the thing. Number one, I think she is a cunt. But here's why I'm going to say that.
Yeah, she shouldn't have just killed the dream.
Exactly.
She should have been like, well, this is what you got to do, and this is laid it out a little better, like give you some options.
And she did do that, but
Yeah.
it's still like the way she looked at me, whatever, the
That
whole
sucks,
vibe,
yeah.
everything. It's like, okay, bitch, you're just pissed off because I'm out here with the perkiest tits in the world. Just look, like fucking, I'm not even wearing makeup, bitch. I got a fucking suntan because guess what I do? I go to the pool whenever the fuck I want because I bartend, bitch, It's like she, there was like some weirdness like that.
Yeah.
And she probably was pissed off that I just am authentically being who I am, walking in there like, yeah, I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to, she probably's like, who is this fucking whore?
That is a weird job, though, because that advisor position kind of does somewhat affect people's lives, like what they're going to do for the rest of their life.
Yes. And
So, like, if you would have had a different advisor, you could be a doctor right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I guess I just don't now. I think it's like it juxtaposes, or like, I don't know the right word, the juxtaposition of like her being like 10 years is a long time. And that's minimum you're looking at to become a doctor. We're talking minimum, and I was just, it really did spook me. And it's so funny because we start this fucking episode being like, yeah, we're 10 years into comedy. It's like, fuck. But truly, it's like she is right. And that's like in a way that it's like, yes, it is a huge, big, long commitment. But I know how many fucking people like poo-pooed me when I wanted to fucking start comedy. And I mean, not to like shit on the ex-boyfriend that I had, but it's like he was a fucking loser, dude. No job, fucking living off his mommy, sucking her dry, 28. I was like 22 at the time, working full time in college at the time, like full credit hours, like it's like and doing it all myself, paying for it by myself, because it's my parents, they're great, but it's like they're not fucking loaded. So either way, it was just like, how many people like shit on your fucking idea, and it's like it feels terrible. Mm-hmm. That's why no one does this. That's why no one does a lot of stuff, because it's like if you want to be good at anything, whether it's like a doctor, a painter, this, that, and the other, like you have to put the 10,000 hours in somehow.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I've realized that, and it goes with any job. It's like the people that succeed the most, it's like they're either like cutthroat motherfuckers like DJT 45. Yay. Yeah. But like,
I know what you mean. I mean, fuck that ex-boyfriend, and it's just I totally agree. It's a lot of the things that people aspire to are kind of crazy on paper, or not accessible. They don't seem like, but you got to try to do what you want to do.
Yes, because it's like, I mean, what the fuck's the point of it? Like, I don't know. And I mean, it's wild to think that like, we like, people get like so mind blown when they're like, oh my God, you're like living your dream and doing your thing. And it's like, yeah, for sure. But it's also like, I don't think you understand how many of you motherfuckers have treated me like shit over the years. Just a simple, hey, went to your little comedy show. It's like, shut the fuck up, Dave. You're not coming to my fucking comedy show. Yeah. So stop asking me motherfucking questions, And it's like, after a while, you become like that with people.
Yeah.
But either way, that was a long-winded story to tell you that come January 2015, I kind of like made a mental commitment with myself where I was like, I'd kind of fucked around with it. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to I'm going to commit to this for one motherfucking year. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see if I'm any good, if I like it, and see what's up. Because comedy doesn't have a blueprint, but it's like there were a few things, and I am lucky that I knew the internet well enough and like stumbled upon some things but I kind of made a commitment to myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to do the year-long program at the improv shop. I was like, I'm going to do their program, and I'm going to go to open mics fucking constantly. And
so that was kind of right off the bat. You started doing both improv and stand-up?
Yes,
Gotcha.
right off the bat. Like,
Gotcha.
so I did them kind of like side by side. And to be honest, I think I'm better at stand-up than I am improv. But also, I don't really know, because improv is very much about like being in the moment and just saying yes and having literally no fear. And it's like, because that's the only way that you can make it good is if you just trust yourself and trust what's happening. But that's also like how your fucking life is.
Yeah.
You know? So
No,
it's
I mean,
weird.
that's probably good that you did that, because like I'd been doing stand-up for 3-4 years or something, and then I did one of those helium
Comedy
roast.
workshop.
Well, no, this was
Oh,
like one of those
sorry.
shows where they like the crowd can roast you and the other comics can roast you, and it went terrible. Like nobody was doing great, but I just like ate shit because I couldn't like fuck with the stuff going on. So I was like, I better try some improv, and then I did the improv shop program and stuff, and it was cool, but that is kind of a different, going from stand-up to that, I was like, holy shit, like that's a whole different
Totally
thing.
different animal.
And it was cool, but, you know, doing them at the same time was probably helpful in a way.
Yeah, well, and I think it also kind of gave me like something tangible to like complete, where I was like, okay, if I'm going to commit to this over a year, because it's like we're saying stand up is like, you know, you tell people you want to be a comedian or you want to be an actor, a musician, or you want to write a book or whatever your big ideas. I want to start a business. It's like people shit on you, dude. Like whether they do publicly or not, but it's like if anyone goes against the grain, it's kind of like, ugh.
Yeah,
So
I know.
that was good for me to kind of just be like, okay, I have something I'm gonna try.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry.
And then you met Libby through improv.
through comedy and improv.
both, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what's funny is the piece of shit boyfriend I was talking about. His brother, older brother, worked in special schools in North St. Louis with Libby forever.
Okay.
So I started comedy. This guy knows Libby's working with her. And like we kind of like heard of each other through that and just seeing each other, because her and I kind of like unknowingly and independently of each other did the same kind of thing where we were like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going all in. And like she started improv that year. And it's like Libby had been doing shit on the internet, doing weird stuff, whatever. She was in a shitty marriage, got out of it and all that. You know, it's like you got to find your own journey to it, because it's like it is lonesome, and it's lonesome because in a way there is no blueprint, and it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It takes so long to get good at. I feel like I'm just now getting good at stand up. And I'm 10 years in. I feel like I'm like at that first layer.
Yeah, you
where I'm
always
like,
hear like, you know, veteran comics like, it takes 10 years or more or whatever. But I was like, 10 years, you know?
Yeah,
I'm like,
not me,
we're
man.
we're here now. We got 10 years. But yeah, so doing the podcast with Libby, and then how'd you guys get linked up with Tammy?
So, yeah, Libby and I started our podcast in 2018. So that's like 3 years after we started comedy, you know, 3.5 years, 4 years, something like that. So we started the podcast in 2018, and it's still going today. We have
Shout
over
out to Slop
300
City.
episodes. Shout out to Slop City. Go follow us. Go listen. And yeah, so the way that I got linked up with them was just through mutual friends. Libby and Chelsea met on the internet.
Okay.
And Chelsea Lynn, aka Trailer Trash Tammy. Trailer Trash Tammy is her character. And she tours and does stand up as her, and then we open for her. But basically, Chelsea typed in the hashtag on Vine, the old social media, you know, because that's where Chelsea got started, and that's where Libby got started doing stuff. Because it's like the internet was kind of a way where you could try it scot-free. Like, you don't have to go on stage. You don't have to do this thing, get all your friends out to come to a show, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's why they did it or why not, but I'm saying that's kind of the advantage to it.
Yeah, that was smart to do that too, because it seemed like whoever got on board of the new thing like early did way better than everyone else.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm so bad at social media and just all that shit in general. like I got TikTok like a year ago, and I'm
know.
like, I don't like this shit.
I
It's
ba-
like, you know, it's
I
just,
barely know how TikTok works.
it's, I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's good. They got, you know,
That's how they got connected, though, because
Yeah.
Chelsea typed in the hashtag white trash or something and found Libby that way. And, like, they just kind of started liking each other's stuff and laughing at each other's things and, like, found each other on the internet that way. And I think they were friends for a few years. And then they finally, like, met in person in San Diego, where Chelsea and her sisters and her husband, Greg, and her nieces were living at the time all together.
nice.
So now, long story short, like Chelsea and Libby became really good friends. Chelsea and Tammy started to grow. She built her little empire on YouTube, Vine, TikTok, everything, and she's just fucking killing it. You know,
Yeah.
she's about to be in a movie with Molly Shannon this
Oh,
year.
really?
Libby's about to be in a fucking movie with David Spade and Theo Vaughn
Oh,
this
damn,
year.
nice.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
That's awesome.
So it's all, and that's really it. Chelsea and I became friends because Libby and Chelsea were friends, and
Yeah.
Libby was my best friend. So it's like, you know, you vicariously trust people through someone else because you shouldn't trust anyone.
That's a good good note.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's awesome. You guys are doing the tour coming up. You got
Yep.
all that going on. So check out the tour. Yeah, we'll probably take a quick little break here.
Cool.
Be right back with more Back of the Room.
I'm really liking, I mean, you guys can't see this, but this is a primo nice little setup. Like, I am comfortable. I have lumbar support. I feel so good. Now, I will say, you know, no fault of your own. You think that I know this place super well. I was not offered a beverage by the host of this podcast.
Well, that's
Jimmy A.
because you had one already.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. But
I can go back to the bar and put a little whiskey in there for you if you want.
hell yeah. But we also have a TV on right here because this is the green room, you know, of
Yeah.
the Funny Bone, and it's just got some fucking just really picturesque stuff.
Yeah.
like it's like an Apple TV screen. So thanks.
Yeah, you know, I try to make people comfortable, and you know, this is cows in a pasture now. You got a bunch of different stuff to look at.
It's really nice. It's called Primal Earth Sounds. Look it up. Shout out to Primal Earth Sounds. Did
yeah.
Charlie shout out Primal Earth Sounds during
I don't
the
think
podcast?
I think he missed that one. So that was the one that he missed. I think. Out
Yeah,
of all of
fucking
them.
amateur.
I know.
Improv, baby. That's what
Yeah.
it does. It brings you to another level of comedy. Okay, sorry.
All good. I feel like I'm getting to know you a little better. You
Good.
know.
Yeah, we've never really like hung out and talked. It's
No.
always just like,
what's up?
see ya,
Hey.
what's up, chit
Yeah.
chat for a minute, and that's that.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like you. It's just like, you know, it's just never happened for us.
It's fine. You know, same here. But we're getting everything now.
Cool.
So I feel like I know a little bit about you, not a ton. So no, you're not originally from here, right?
Yes.
Where'd you grow up,
I
or
was-
when'd you come over?
Yep. So I was born in Belarus and I moved to the United States when I was like a year old with
Oh,
my
okay.
mom. So my dad came over first. He was here on like a work visa, going to work in like some summer camp teaching English and Russian, I think. He's my parents and my mom and dad, Igor and Svetlana, met at a linguistics college in Belarus, in Minsk, Belarus. So they both have like language degrees. You know, my mom was like Russian and German, and my dad was English and Russian and German, I think. Either way, they're fucking nerds. So they met there, you know, and must have fucked at some point.
Probably.
Like, you know, then they had me.
Yeah.
But my dad got like, you know, they had like some weird lottery for some program that he entered. I think it was like a nonprofit. And they were like, hey, you know, you could go to any of these places. And somehow, some way, my dad got the United States. And boom, baby. So then Igor fucking jets over here. And he's here for like 6 months, you know, I mean, while I'm a fucking baby, which is honestly wild. And now I realize it probably fucked me up, you know, like,
Well,
that's
you don't remember though, so
No.
that helps a little probably.
for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, that's a pretty fucking intense moving
Yeah.
around. That is a lot of moving around as
Yeah.
a baby.
I hear you.
You know, just a lot going on. So either way, we start in Pennsylvania, and then we head from Pennsylvania to Warrensburg, Missouri.
That's where I went to college.
No fucking way. At
Yeah.
CMSU?
Yeah.
No way. My dad got a so basically they had like a foreign exchange program thing or something like that. He was getting like his master's degree free of charge there and all of that. So that's like we did that. My dad worked at Country Kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That
he
place
was
was
a-
awesome. I used to go there at 4 a.m.
Yes, dude, I fucking love Country Kitchen. That's why I'm so fucking white trash. Like it makes sense to me now. You know, while
Yeah.
I'm like revisiting all of this, because it's like I technically should not be as white trash as I am, but I think like the upbringing in Warrensburg and shit like that, kind of like it wasn't like we stayed there for very long either. I think we
Okay.
were there 2-3 years, and then we moved from Warrensburg, Missouri, to like KC Mo,
Okay.
and then we were KC Mo, KCK, and then we moved. You know, we got over into the nice part in Kansas side.
Both sides. Okay.
Yeah, so we've done it all. And then I moved to St. Louis in 2009 because I had to drop out of high school and go to rehab because I was addicted to heroin at 16, almost 17. So, yeah. And then I ended up in St. Louis. Like, I didn't think I was going to move here. You know, I came here, moved out to go to rehab, and my plan was like, I'm going back to Kansas City. I'm going back to Kansas City. But then it was like, next thing I knew, I had a job, I had an apartment, I had a life, and all this stuff out here.
Yeah.
So I was in rehab in St. Louis 2009 to 2012.
Okay. It's a
And
long stint.
yes. So I did like outpatient treatment where it was like 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. And then we had constant stuff filtered with them or whatever. It's a place called Crossroads.
Glad you made it through all that. Shout out to Crossroads.
Shout out to Crossroads.
But yeah, I mean, you touched on it already. Like I don't, obviously it's a terrible drug that no one should do, but it's got to feel pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude. Love heroin. Wish I could do it every day.
But it will kill you.
Will kill you,
Yeah.
ruin your life.
Yeah.
You can't be present when you're doing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People are doing heroin and like drugs and getting fucked up of that nature when they are hurting from something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
or-
glad you made it through all
Me
that.
too, dude.
Yeah, that's
Me
great.
too. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Crossroads, the cult rehab that saved me. I mean, they fucked me up, but they also are amazing. So
Yeah.
it's very weird and conflicting.
Yin
But
yang.
it's like
Yeah.
some cult vibes for
Okay.
sure.
You came over here at 1 or whatever, or 1.5 ish.
I think I was about a year old.
Okay.
Or so.
Well, this is probably
very
more
young.
from your parents then. Where, who did they root for in Rocky 4?
I am gonna be honest.
Have you never seen Rocky 4?
I don't even know. No, I've never seen
Oh,
it.
my God.
I know. I've never seen the Rockies. My parents, I don't know if they've seen them, but like we didn't watch it growing up.
Okay.
Igor was a really big sci-fi guy. Watched a lot of Terminator type stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I love action movies. I love sci-fi. I love action movies. Like we watched a lot of that stuff. But then also some heavy hitters too, dude. Like some heavy
Like-
hitters that were like too deep for children. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah, like a psychological thriller kind of deal or
Psychological thriller or a drama that just
Yeah.
cuts you to your fucking core. I remember watching my best friend's wedding with my parents when we lived in Prairie Village, and that was the first house that my parents ever got to rent. And it was sick as fuck, dude. I remember we had this big ass backyard, and like we were always getting into trouble back there, fucking off before we'd like go to Applebee's for Kids Eat Free. You know?
Yeah.
Either way, I remember like watching my best friend's wedding, finishing it, and crying. I gotta ask my mom the year that we lived there because I am not fucking kidding you. I watched it and I remember, I had to be 6, I think.
Yeah, sounds
to-
about right.
Go
yeah.
to my fucking bed, climb my bunk bed that my brother and I both live in. And I remember laying in bed. I had my like hands kind of like nestled in between my legs and just being like, I cried. I was crying, like
Yeah,
it's like
some of
I
those,
was deeply emotional, I think, as
That's
a child.
not a great
and
children's movie, or a lot of those probably aren't.
I mean, it was
Rocky 4 is not really a great one, but you should
Terminator
watch it.
2. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
it's a great movie, but for a 6-year-old, it's a little rough.
Pretty Woman was the first American movie my mom ever saw, so that was also one of the first movies I ever saw.
Okay.
So,
Eclectic taste.
But yeah, I'm sorry about the Rocky thing.
It's all good. You should watch it. The
I
thing
need
is,
to.
he fights a huge Russian guy.
Yes. Ivan Drago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know all about this. I've heard it.
Yeah. They're all great.
I've
So
heard
I would
they're
recommend
incredible.
all Rockies.
I really look forward to it because, like I said, I love movies like that. I love a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching story of perseverance, passion, and power,
Yeah, and Stallone wrote and directed all those also.
which is incredible.
Insane.
And he made his own way.
Yeah.
I love that. He was like, "Fuck you, gatekeepers."
Yeah.
And then he went and fucked it up. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, fucked it up in a good way.
Yeah. I was going to say, what did he... I thought you said fucked it up in a bad way there for a second. I was like, what did he...
No.
What did he do?
No,
But,
it's
okay.
like he went and fucked shit up.
Fuck
He
shit
was
up
like,
in
what's
the
up, dude?
best
Watch
way.
me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
See these eyebrows? They're gonna fuck you up. Okay, go on. Sorry.
All good. Is your birthday on Christmas?
Yes, Christmas Day, December 25th, 1992.
How much does that suck?
I mean, it's not a good birthday.
Yeah.
It's not. And I never had any type of half celebration type of thing like that. We had it was the same day. But my mom did start wrapping stuff in like birthday presents and then like give it to me later at night,
Okay.
So
you got a little bit of variation.
reprieve.
Was there less presents?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got to happen.
I think so. I mean, my mom
It's hard
did
to
try
gauge, but it's probably a factor.
Absolutely. And I mean, people are doing a twofer. They're doing a 2-in-1. They're wrapping it in Christmas stuff. Listen, my parents, atheists, don't believe in God, or they don't know. They're agnostic, whatever. They're science people. They're fucking nerds. But, we fucking love Christmas. Like, Christmas is tight. I love it.
Pretty awesome.
I love getting gifts for people. Like, that's one of, like, my way that I show love is like by helping with tasks or things that I think I'm helping with. I'm like, let me organize your stuff. Let me like do your laundry. Let me clean for you. Or get you coffee or do something. I got you this shirt. I hope you love it. Like that's kind of how I show love.
That's great. Like it does make you feel good when you get somebody a good present and you can tell they actually like it.
Yes. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like I know every Christmas song there is to know by heart. I start listening to sometimes I listen to Christmas music in the middle of summer. Libby and I, when we did our very first headlining tour this past year, October through, December 2024, we toured Slop City. So we would both do stand-up and then at the end do like an improvised town hall based on instant feedback from audience. Like they would fill out a Google form and all that. But it was very stressful because like I said earlier, Libby and I are both very mentally ill. We're just fucked up.
Me too, man. I know. I get it.
It sucks. I hate it, but it's who I
great,
am.
But yeah.
And I mean, there was a time that we had probably a 10-hour drive. I would say 5 of those hours we listened to Christmas music.
You do like it then. That's pretty good. I mean, if you're going to like it and have them, it sounds like you're well fitted for the birthday.
I fuck with Christmas.
I got a buddy that this one might be worse than yours. He's a twin and their birthday's on Christmas.
Oh, God.
So that's like...
Bless their heart. They're both getting the exact same fucking gifts.
And it's cut in half, because they got 2. So
that is terrible.
that's pretty rough. But yeah, let's get to a segment here.
Are we only going to do one?
We could do 2.
Oh,
Whatever.
dude, I don't give a fuck.
We'll-
I know
we'll see
we're
how it
running out of
goes.
time.
We got plenty of time. We could roll another 2 hours if you want.
Well, let's not do that because I want to, get to
You don't want to do another 2 hours. It's fine.
I want to be farting around here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I got ADHD. I need to move my body.
Yeah. All right. First one we're going to do is called Die on This Hill. Mm-hmm. So we're both going to throw something out there, an opinion we have. Maybe it's a popular opinion. Maybe it's unpopular. But that's the segment.
I love it. Hit me with yours. Or does the guest usually do theirs first?
It's either or. I can go
Hey,
first.
It looked
If
like
you-
you were going to point to me first.
You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go.
want you to go first, though, because I'm curious. Because I don't know all that much about you, so I want to know your thing before I go fucking hard with
This
mine.
one could not. You might totally disagree.
Okay.
Sushi is gross. Just based on the breath in and out, I think you love it.
Yeah, I do. I love sushi, but here's the deal, pumpkin eel. I understand why people don't like sushi.
Yeah.
I get it, and especially when you live in Missouri. You know what I mean? We're looking at all these nice beaches here on Primal Earth Sounds.
Maybe it's better.
Maybe a river. That's the kind of river area we're getting our fish from.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I get it. And sometimes it is objectively kind of weird and gross. It's like, this fish is traveling from God knows where. I get it, you know, but I still fuck with sushi.
I've only tried it a few times, and maybe I'm not eating the right thing or whatever, but I grew up in the middle of nowhere in the country, and my parents had a lake, and we would just fish there, fry up the fish, and eat it. So it's like the most fresh fish you could ever have. And going from that fried fish to raw fish is kind of rough.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's
I
just,
get that.
I would prefer it cooked. I would pay more to have him cook it. I don't think that's an option.
You fuck with a roll, though, that's like got cooked shit in it, but you're
I've
just
tried it.
reluctantly.
If you like douse it in soy sauce, I can like scarf it down, but I'm still just like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yep.
Like, is there a certain item you get or no?
Yeah, but you're going to fucking vomit when you hear what I get.
Like eel or something?
I get eel.
Oh, gross.
I love eel rolls. I swear, bruh.
I don't even know what that would taste like,
It's
but I'm not going to try
but
it.
I understand why not, and I really do. I get why people don't like it.
Yeah, there was a Chinese place in 2 towns over from where I grew up, and there was like sushi. It was like a buffet thing, and there was sushi over on the thing. And like a prank was, my buddy was like, "Hey, you got to try," or I don't remember what it was. There was a bet, and then the loser had to eat sushi. And I almost yacked. I was just like, this is the worst. It's raw.
Well, and especially it's like when people don't like sushi, it's like that's a no-no. You know what I mean? That's like bringing a pro-lifer to a fucking, my fucking clinic visit. It's like, you don't do that. They're not there for that. They're like, listen, I told you I don't fucking like this.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be all in, and they're out. And you're not going to change their mind, generally.
That's why I'm dying on the hill.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
all right.
Okay. My hill I am going to die on. I'm actually excited to share this because you've got some green over there on your mic, and that's nice. I like that I have a red one for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you have a green one over there, which is so perfect. And I should have worn my fucking bolo tie that I just got for this. I'm pissed. Oh, I'm fucking mad right now. Charlie XC. Here's the hill I'm dying on.
Okay.
Charlie XCX is one of the greatest songwriters of this time. I would say she's one of the greatest musicians and all of that, but I get that some people are going to be like, fuck no, dude. It's tracked. She uses auto-tune, blah, blah, blah. So this is my hill I'm dying on right now. Charlie XCX is one of the greatest musicians that is out there now, and she will be remembered.
All right.
Okay.
That's a hill to die on for sure. I got some questions.
And I can't wait to answer them because I'm a fucking stan. Let's go. I love Charlie XCX so much that for my boyfriend, comedian Rafe Williams, host of the Rizzuto Show, host of the Number 2 Show, his own podcast,
Shout out
my
to Rafe.
lover and partner of 9 years. It hasn't all been blissful, but we're still together, so that's good. I love Charlie XCX so much that for Rafe's birthday last year, right before I went on this tour, I mentally thought it was a great idea to bring him for his birthday for a quick one-night turnaround trip in the middle of the week to Chicago when he works on the radio at 4:30 in the morning. I thought it was a good idea to bring him to the Charlie XCX concert with me in Chicago for his birthday. And he actually thought it was a bit. He was like, there's no way we're actually going to see Charlie XCX. And then we walk up to the United Center and we start looking. He looked up concerts, everything in Chicago. There was nothing he liked. And yeah, so that's what I did. I dragged him to that. And I love her and know her songs so well. And so I know every beat. I know the beat drops. I know when they're, I know it all. So yeah, I'm selfish. Charlie XCX has made me an actual fucking brat, okay? And I'm sorry, but it's who I am. I've realized that. It's what I am. And once you own that you're a fucking brat, that's when your life starts to change.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then you can deal and unpack with you can unpack your shit. You know yourself, you know? Okay,
well, maybe
sorry.
that's what my problem is. I haven't admitted to myself that I'm
you're
a brat.
Fucking brat, bitch.
That might be a factor. I just pictured you on that story, like walking into the concert, like, fuck you, my birthday's on Christmas. And he's just like, okay.
Oh, God.
Whatever. But
that's so funny. And I wish that I had that argument because it would have made it a lot better.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I mean, it was everybody was. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. Maybe I thought Rafe was going to lift me up and carry me. I mean, in my mind was like, oh my God, this is going to be so fucking fun. I can't wait. And it's like, yeah. You know, he had a fine time.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good sport, I'm sure. And
for sure. Let's move on from that though. I want the questions about
this. Okay.
And then,
I don't know much about her.
Okay.
I saw her on SNL.
Okay.
She hosted and performed, I believe.
Yeah.
And I thought she did a good job. But what's her hits? 2 or 3 of the top hits.
Okay. So she's confusing because I'll just give you the hits and then we can go from there. The number one song that you may know is the one with Icona Pop. It's called I Love It. And it's like, I crashed my car into a bridge, I pushed you down the stairs. You know that one?
I've heard that one.
Okay. So that's one.
Okay.
That's one of the most popular that has ever been in the world, you know? And then she did Boom Clap with Tinashe.
I've heard that.
You know the song, Boom Clap Down to My... That one, yeah. Okay. So those are her, the ones that are from I'd say maybe 2010 or something like it. Okay. From the 2010 to 2015 era. So those are those big ones because Charlie for the very beginning she co-wrote and also wrote a lot of songs for people. She was kind of like BTS. It's they knew because she started working in the industry when she was 14. Literally wow. At raves, fucking mixing her own shit and doing her fucking thing at 14 or 15.
That's crazy.
You know, so she was a freak that was making music in her fucking room all by herself, obsessed with pop, lived in the UK, you know, I don't know exactly where or whatever. But so she did a lot of that. So she was very behind the scenes. She had a few of her albums come out, you know, she was starting to put albums out and stuff. And listen, for a guy like you, I'm not going to recommend you listen to any of those.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to recommend you listen to right now. I'm going to recommend you 3 things. You have 3 things.
Okay. You got Rocky 4 and then I'll have these.
Yes. And then we can meet back up and talk again about it. And I would be happy to do that because I mean, like I said, you're a Rocky 4 stan. I'm a Charlie XCX stan.
Yeah.
I ride for that bitch, Charlie.
Okay.
Which is a line from the song now called Guess with Billie Eilish, where they're like, you want to guess the color of my underwear. And, it's wild. Either way. And I can't wait to talk about it with you because she really is brilliant. She's a fucking genius. She's brilliant. She's unbelievably hot. She's unbelievably vulnerable. And I love that. As you can tell, I'm very vulnerable. So here are the 3 things you need to do.
Okay.
And then we can fucking wrap this up, okay? You need to listen to How I'm Feeling Now, which is her album that she made during the pandemic, fan-sourced at home. So yeah, How I'm Feeling Now, album that came out in 2020. And after you do that, you need to watch the documentary that follows along with it, because you get to see the entire process of her making the album. And like, she was like a no name, because right before COVID hit, that was like her first tour that she was getting ready to go on, her very self. And it was like, you know, she's like BTS. No one really gives a shit. Everyone's like, you're very brilliant. We love your songs. We love this. You're so good for pop in that way. But like, what you have is not, you know, industry just did it nighter. So this bitch was like, watch me, motherfuckers. I'll make my own way. And then she does it. So the documentary is really cool because it shows all of that, and kind of like, you know, and she's also struggles with mental health stuff. So she's very vulnerable about it.
Kind of like Bo Burnham's Inside.
Yes.
That kind of, okay, I'm liking this.
Yes. And I am glad, and it makes sense that I didn't hear that album at that time, because it was just too much for me. I think I was so depressed, and I was only listening to really sad music at that time. I don't know. I wasn't listening to any pop, and I was raised on pop, you know, but so whatever. I kind of stopped listening to it for a while. Okay, so those are your two things.
Okay.
And then your final and third one is you have to listen to Brat, the extended version, because there's 2 discs after that.
Okay.
And I suggest, my personal suggestion for a guy like you, I don't know when you listen to music. I don't know if you like to listen to it more when you drive or when
Yeah,
you
I'm usually in the
clean.
car.
Okay, what about like when you're cleaning and do you clean? Are you a cleaner or organizer?
Sometimes.
Okay, so not a big cleaner.
I
That's
clean
not
some stuff,
yeah,
you know.
Molly cleans. All right, I get it. But so if you're in the car and that's when you generally listen to music, this is when you need to listen to How I'm Feeling Now and Brat, and you need to listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
And I want you, when you listen to Brat, you know, okay, actually this is four-pronged. Here's how this is going to go. We have 4 requests of Jimmy Day from me. And then technically that's great because you have 4 requests of me to watch 4 Rockies.
There's way more Rockies than that also, but
know,
you
but
can just go to 4 if you want.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So that's great. This really works out. And this is full circle improv, dude. This is fucking group mind. Rocky 4. And then you need to do How I'm Feeling Now, then the documentary about how I'm feeling now, and then you listen to Brat, just the first Brat, which, you know, whatever, like 16 songs on it. And then after that, then once you're like, God, I fucking love every single one of these songs. Because you have to listen to this album. You're going to listen to it so much. It's just going to, I hope you like it. And then you listen to the extended versions because she's got remixes of every fucking song that was on the album. And like, they're brilliant.
That's crazy that she did all of them. Usually they would just do like 1 or 2, but she did the whole thing.
It might be like 12 songs instead of 16.
Well, still, but
it's
yeah,
like then there's
lot.
new ones that came out and stuff. I'm really excited, and I hope that you enjoy the journey. And it's probably going to take you a couple of months. So we'll meet back up when I get back from tour in July. You know, because you're going to be a Charlie XCX stan. You're going to have a fucking...
It sounds like
this
it.
is like Brat font, too, dude.
Well, I'm halfway there.
You're halfway there, dude. I'm going to get you a fucking back of the room shirt and Brat font and Brat color.
I'm down.
We have some
doing
on
our... awesome, yeah. Well, let's take one more quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up. But that was Die on This Hill. Be right back with more Tina Dybal, everybody. All right, we're back. Sitting here with Tina, wrapping things up. We talked about a lot. We got movies to watch. We got albums to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Great episode.
Thanks. That was really fun.
Cue the applause again. But thanks for being here. Where can people find you? All the social media stuff. I mentioned the tour you got coming up. So
yeah, you can find me. I am at Tina Dybal on most platforms. So that's TinaDybal. Most platforms, I am Tina Dybal, the Instagram, TikTok, all that. My YouTube, though, is at Tina Dybal 69.
Nice.
Thank you.
Check out Tina, everybody. You mentioned you like to give gifts. I also like to give gifts, so I wanted to give you this before we left.
How did you know I like 0 bars?
It's my favorite candy bar, too.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Jimmy, we're like seriously more alike than you fucking realize. Rafe and I fuck with zeros so hard.
It's the best.
People shit on them, and it is the rudest fucking thing in the world. I've talked about this on stage before. I mean, there's been a time at Helium Comedy Club in the basement of that mall, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs about zero candy bars.
People don't know about them too. You'll be like, "Yeah, I ate a zero," and they'll be like, "What?" Like, get on
King
board.
size.
Yeah.
This is fucking amazing. I mean, you don't even understand how important this is to me. We'll get into it next time.
Sounds good.
I have a story, and I love y'all. Thank you for having me, Jimmy. This was
Thanks
really
for being
fun.
here. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to and/or watching Back of the Room.